I'm David Aiken of the National Post, and I'm here in Rideau Hall, the official residence of the Governor General, to talk to Governor General David Johnston and to Tom Jenkins, the chairman of the National Research Council, about a new book they have collaborated on. The book is called Ingenious: How Canadian Innovators Made the World Smarter, Smaller, Kinder, Safer, Healthier, Wealthier, and Happier. David Johnston became Canada's 28th Governor General in 2010. He was appointed by then Prime Minister Stephen Harper, and he took the job after a long career in academia. But he wasn't just an academic, he was very much engaged with the public policy issues of the day. Among his titles included the Vice Chancellor of McGill University and the President of the University of Waterloo. It was at Waterloo when Johnston and Jenkins really got to know each other. Tom Jenkins had come to Waterloo to join a startup company that came out of the University of Waterloo that was known as OpenText. Jenkins would become OpenText's CEO, and he helped grow that company to become Canada's largest software company, and it's now the 9th largest software company in the world. And as I mentioned, Jenkins is now chairman of the National Research Council and is now chairman of the board for OpenText. Our conversation about the book and about innovation in general took place in the afternoon of Tuesday, March 28th, 2017. The main objective of Canadian science policy has been to promote technological innovation by industry, but almost every decade since the 1920s has witnessed renewed attempts by successive governments to achieve it, but on the whole they have failed. And Nicholson says, and you can say the same thing in 2017. So you've just listed off a lot of ways the public sector and academia has tried to encourage innovation. Nicholson's saying, and despite all that, we have, and any way you measure it, still we're a low innovation economy. And his thought is, because of inertia among corporate Canada, it's been very profitable to be a branch plan economy. We've got a very good standard of living, great GDP, the way things have been going. And so there you are, and you sat in a lot of corporate boards. I don't know if you agree with Nicholson's assessment, but that sounds like it's a culture thing, a really tough thing to change.
The evidence, first of all, I would never disagree with Peter Nicholson. No, the evidence supports his assertions. But I think one has to look deeper into what it is to be Canadian and Canadian culture, because coupled with your question and the lament was also another evidence point that you said. So the lament is, maybe we're not as innovative as some of the others, we're not as quick. But you also recognize that we have a fantastic quality of life and standard of living. So in many ways, we Canadians are very fortunate. We are born to an unbelievable country. And so I would assert that we innovate just enough.
But that may not be enough sort of in the
But
future.
in our book, and this is why I brought along this is canola.
Grown in Saskatchewan or worse.
Absolutely. And prior to the intervention of the National Research Council, was toxic to human consumption. They basically bred the right strain, and it's now a $26 billion export industry. What I'm trying to say is we do enough. We as Canadians tend to not be overly aggressive, but we're aggressive enough.
What Governor Generals have done since 1867 is they've been trying to reinforce those fundamental values. And that's what we've been doing with things like the culture of innovation in the country.